Shibos and Shibheads, how are we all doing this fine day? Welcome to episode 53 of Shootin the Shibby. That's going to be a very exciting one. As you can see, I look slightly different. I got my twirly hat going for all of our download listeners. I got flamingo shirt with on the back says, ask about my podcast, because Brian and I went to PAX East.
We did.
Oh boy, oh, was it a good time.
It was a very good time.
But before we get into that, Bob, how you doing?
Not too bad.
All right, and that's about as relevant as Bob will be for this podcast.
He's Bob, he's Spencer, and I'm Brian.
Oh. I'm Spencer.
We already went over that.
I have a twirly hat.
So usually this is the point where we would talk about the weekends, but so Spencer and I were at PAX East, my 9th year in a row.
My 3rd year in a row.
Spencer's 3rd year in a row. And oh boy, we had a lot of stuff that happened that weekend. So
yeah, you can start, because I honestly forget the weekend.
I'll start. So this one's just probably one of the funnier stories I have from the weekend. So I think it's Friday, and we were playing Jenga. This is like the giant Jenga, like some bars have them or whatever.
There was a side room at PAX. For those that don't know, PAX is a video game convention.
I'm going to get into it.
We didn't even talk about the fact that PAX is a video game convention.
I was going to explain that. If you give me a second to explain the story,
I'm sorry.
I will get to that point.
All gaming conventions start with Jenga. My bad.
I'm giving the context of where I was. So I was at Jenga.
I was at Jenga.
At PAX East, I was at Jenga in a side room for the big convention.
Bob, did you know that they host PAX at Jenga?
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. So it's a convention just to play Jenga, and that's it. So there was like 50,000 people watching me play Jenga with 10 other people.
Jenga Con.
It was Jenga Con 2019. And as we were playing, 2 people dressed as Sans and Papyrus come in. So, of course, everyone loses their shit. So everyone's just like, oh, it's Sans and Papyrus! And everyone starts going nuts. I start singing Megalovania. Everyone else starts doing it. It was funny. It was a good time. So they come in and they're like, oh, do you want to be able to play Jenga with us? Sans does. Papyrus doesn't, because he's wearing the mittens where these 4 fingers are all like put together.
Yeah.
So he can't really
That's hard mode.
Yeah, so he can't really do it. So he's like, I'm out. So Sans does it. And every time Sans pulled out a block, the next person always failed. Like, always toppled it over. So every time it happened, we were like, bad time!
Want to have a bad time?
That's, yeah. So this is just the start of the story. So I was playing Jenga for a while. Eventually, it dies down. I go to leave to go home. So the Boston Convention Center is huge. And pretty much about like 2 o'clock till the convention center closes. Trying to leave the convention center is very hard because it's in the heart of Boston, and there are a lot of cars there, a lot of taxis, a lot of Ubers, Lyfts, your grandma picking you up.
Lots of cars.
Whatever. There's a lot of cars coming to pick you up. My phone's also almost dead. I have about 2% battery left. I'm trying to get a Lyft to pick me up to bring me home. While the Lyft is coming to get me, my phone dies. So I'm like, well, shit. So I give up on my Lyft because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get in contact with them. So I say, screw it. I'll just get a taxi. Now, I normally don't do taxis ever in Boston because the first year we went, taxi royally fucked us over. I watched him go his GPS different routes to make the trip longer so he could charge us more.
That has to be illegal.
I mean, I guess so, but like
I'm sure it is.
When that happened, that was back in 2011. I was still in high school, so like I really didn't know like if I could do anything about it. But I just told my friends like, yeah, he went a different route in his GPS, so we were just like, we're not going to take the taxi ever again.
Yeah, that's fair because all taxi drivers are the same. We wouldn't want to do that.
Well,
I'm sure the taxi's fine.
Well, I take a taxi again.
Oh yeah.
And wouldn't you know it? 3 times he had to ask me if this address was legit. It is. I know it's legit.
Because we went there. Because we were staying there.
I was staying there. This was the place I'm staying at. So yes, it does exist. And
they do exist.
A trip that was supposed to take 15 minutes ended up taking 35. And I'm watching him just take these random ass turns. He's like, I don't think this place exists. I'm like, it sure does. I put it in your GPS. Your GPS took it because he gave me his phone for me to put it in.
I'm about to say, was he using a phone GPS or was he using like a Garmin from 2003?
A phone GPS.
Oh, okay.
I put it into his Waze. Like, I typed it in, Waze put the pin there.
I'll show you the Waze.
That's pretty pathetic when a taxi driver has to use Waze to get around.
Well, no, I mean, I can understand wanting to use...
I get that, but isn't there some sort of, like, proprietary, I don't know, like, taxi GPS
taxi app
thing?
Taxiways?
I mean, but, like, what's the difference between using that and using Waze or Google Maps? Essentially the same thing. They're all GPSs. Yeah. So, you know, whatever. Because I wasn't going to Boston. Our place was in Cambridge, which is right next to Boston.
I thought maybe he was using, like, the built-in factory GPS from a car bought in 2008 that he never updated or something.
His TomTom.
Oh man, that's a throwback name.
Oh, so you guys know my parents then?
my dad had a TomTom.
You have two dads?
His dad, Tom and Tom. How progressive. So he's trying to take me there. Eventually,
just quick tangent. Just imagine if you're dating someone with the same name as you. In fact, I've met 4 Spencers my entire life, including myself. And I met one female Spencer.
I'm the only one that matters.
Yes, I am top Spencer. I'm going to roll for Spencer. I got my D20, rolling for Spencer. I rolled an 8. I'm a pretty average Spencer.
That thing has been rolling only 8s and 10s this entire time.
I think it's rigged.
It is rigged. You should not use that for D&D. So, also, the entire
I wasn't done
time...
with my story. I was saying I met a female Spencer, and we both met each other, and we both found out our names were Spencer, and it went from like the hi, how are you, to like the... there can only be one. But I just can't imagine, like, weird. Hey, Spencer, let's go on a date with Spencer. Like,
do you, Spencer, take your Spencer to be your lawfully wedded Spencer?
There was that couple.
At that point, you just need to
news,
legally change your last name to Spencer as well.
There was a couple on the news where they were about to get married and they had the exact same name. Like, first and last name were the same.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awkward.
I was like, that's got to make mail really hard.
Hey, babe, is this for you? No.
I guess they could do like a parentheses F or parentheses M or something like that.
Are you assuming their gender?
Well, you know what? Parentheses A through Z and every
right. We're getting too sidetracked. I want to finish the story.
Sidetracked? No.
So, of course, also during this entire trip, a lot of taxis now have like those little TVs in the back that show you like things around Boston, or like you can watch this on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Blank, because they're both Jimmy.
Hot anime.
So the entire time, I think it was Jimmy. Is Fallon the one with the beard now?
Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's the one that was on
Kimmel's
the Man
on
Show.
ABC.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel. Then it was Jimmy Kimmel interviewing Lady Gaga about A Star Is Born, but it was like this one little snippet. I probably saw that snippet 20 times on my ride home, because the thing had like 3 things it would loop through, and it kept doing this one bit. And I tried to turn the volume down, but the volume up button didn't work, and the volume down button just made it louder. So all I did was make it louder, and I couldn't make it softer. So this guy must have think I really liked watching the thing, and I was like, but I didn't want to tell him. I couldn't. I tried pressing everything on it. I was like, I could not turn this thing down. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna suck this up.
Jimmy Kimmel is love. Jimmy Kimmel is life. You cannot turn down the Jimmy Kimmel.
So he then pulls up to a house that's not even mine. And he's like, all right, this is it. I'm like, no, it's not. He goes, yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
I look out. I'm like, this isn't the place. And he goes, well, get out. I'm just like, what? Okay. So I get out, and he just fucking zooms off. And I'm like, cool. My phone's dead. I don't live here, and I'm not near my destination. Neat. Let's go exploring. Luckily, I was only like a block away from where I was, so I started walking in a direction, and then the place we were at had Boston's versions of the city bike. They're called blue bikes, which they look exactly the same, except it says blue bike instead of city.
The bicycle looks like a bicycle.
Well, no,
no matter how rescue.
The rent-a-bicycles that they have in New York City.
I know. I'm just saying it's a bicycle.
So once I saw that, I was like, cool, I'm at my place. But then the house we were at had a code to get in, not keys. and my phone was dead, and the code was saved on there, and I'm like, all right, shit, I don't know the code. So I start guessing some, and it's not working, and I'm like, I don't want to like lock the house or get the police called because too many incorrect codes were entered in. I didn't know if this worked like for your phone, where your phone would just lock you out. I don't know if it would just lock me out of the house
for the next hour,
or it would tell the police like, "Hey, someone's trying to get in here." So, what was my next big goal? Go to the other side of the house where I knew the balcony was and try to climb on top of there to get into the house. Mind you, it's like almost 8 o'clock at this point. So I'm there trying to climb the side of the house, but I have my bag from PAX there, and I'm like, all right, I can't climb with this thing on. I'm also really tired from the day, and I'm just like, all right, I got to find a new way to get in. So I go back to the front door, and I hear my friends. They had the room near the front door, like the window, because we were on the second floor. So I take my wallet out and start chucking it at the window as hard as I can. Now, I have like a soft, leathery kind of wallet, so it's not making that much sound, but I was thinking it would make enough of like a dunk on the window that they would notice, like, hey, I'm trying to get your attention. Open the blind of the window.
I just imagine like a little like squeak noise as it hits, like squeak 'em, like just like SpongeBob, like throwing his two stuffed animals on the ground, just squeak.
So chucking my wallet at the window, I finally get one of my friends to come over. Now, in Boston, I'm going to preface this, has legal marijuana. So somebody there was...
It's the devil's city.
Somebody there was, in the words of How I Met Your Mother, he was eating a sandwich. And he started to think that there was a sound coming from the window, to which my one friend said, "You've been eating too many sandwiches, you paranoid motherfucker. There's nothing at the window."
Oh, no.
And they told me this afterwards, so I'm just like, he came to the window, why didn't he open the blinds? So I try like getting up again, I'm throwing it quick, and I'm like trying to get it like while they're there, and they walk away. I'm like, well, great. Then I realized this, because they had the... like the smart eye on the door or whatever. So I was like, there's like a button for a doorbell. So I start pushing all these buttons, but I don't hear a doorbell. But apparently as I'm pushing the button, the doorbell is going off upstairs. But they don't answer it.
Too many sandwiches.
So I go to the other door, which has another button. Start pressing the doorbell again. I don't hear it, but again, going off upstairs, they still don't answer it. I go back to the other side, start ringing the doorbell again until finally the one who's eating too many sandwiches comes down and looks at the door and opens it, and I go, "Jesus Christ, finally!" And he goes, "Well, what are you mad at me for?" And I'm like, I look at him like, dude.
Oh, my God.
I've been ringing. Cool. I'm like, I've been ringing the doorbell this whole time. Like, and then I go upstairs, and one of them is just like, I heard the doorbell, but didn't want to answer it because we don't technically live here. And I just look at him
while you're occupying.
I'm just looking at him like, this is an Airbnb, you idiot. We're the only residents in this house. Answer the door. So I just look at him.
Imagine ordering food and he's just like, "Oh, I don't want to get the door. We don't live here."
Special instructions.
That one.
Call me when you're here so that I can find some way to get outside. I don't live here, so I'm not going to open the door to get my food. I looked at him like are you fucking stupid? Are you the dumbest person I've ever met? But I finally got inside. He ended up going to a concert that night that I wanted to go to. But at this point, I was so tired and done with it. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not leaving this house.
If you get a chance, here, let me see if I could take off. Man, I don't know how well you can see this little button. Don't just let the headphones be stuck. No, the answer is no. Well, it looks really neat. Look up the Super Soul Brothers. Even if you don't like video game covers of music, if you like a horn section and funky beats, holy crap!
Go on.
Half of the music that they played, I barely knew the video game, but they're just so solid. They are so much fun.
They are good.
And I mean, like, I've been listening to them probably for a year and a half. The first time I heard them was at PAX. And so, yeah, I guess I've been listening to them for a solid year. I even bought their entire discography, which is on a... When I get a beer, I'll go get it. But it's on...
Super Nintendo cartridge.
It's on a Super Nintendo cartridge, and they have a little USB thing for it, and it has their discography and little videos I haven't watched yet, and they're awesome. But I'll say one of my favorite moments of PAX is actually after PAX. We went to... Here we are. Not sponsored, by the way. Hashtag not sponsored.
When you first brought that in, I thought you actually bought a Super Nintendo game.
Pretty. I got it signed by 3 of them.
And I was just like, whoa, you bought a Super Nintendo game?
The
Which
other
one?
2 couldn't come to PAX.
It's like, that's not a Super Nintendo game.
I mean, I did buy the cartridge, although it's a generic cartridge because there's no Nintendo badge on the back of it, right? Wouldn't that be stamped?
That would say Nintendo, and this would have the
but
legal
is the Nintendo badge a sticker on the back, or
no?
Is
it was actually
stamped?
like etched in.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or whatever.
So,
and then it would have all the legal
Supercell Bros, awesome. I highly recommend. And then after there was a band called the Koopa Kids, and the only shame about them is the fact that they have no social media. I think they're on Bandcamp, but they didn't stray too far away. They were another cover band with the horn section, but they didn't stray too far away. Where like Super Soul Brothers will turn the songs just into their own song. They'll play like The Lost Woods and then just start going off on solos, and it's great. Where the other band also fantastic, but you can tell what song it is, and they stuck with the song more than solo. I mean, they soloed also.
I kind of like bands like those too because
they were both great in their own ways. I hope I'm not not making one sound. Maybe I'm a little more enthusiastic about Super Souls because like I was looking. I went to that show to see them, and as a secondary prize, I got to see the Koopa Kids, which were also fantastic, and I'm looking forward to when they release more stuff.
Fun fact, the Koopa Kids, the 8 bosses of Super Mario Bros. 3 originally, all named after musicians.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So,
Ludwig was Ludwig van
Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Ludwig van Beethoven.
Iggy was named after Iggy Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy was named after
my favorite fast food restaurant.
Was the female singer Wendy something?
Oh yeah, Wendy's.
I forgot her name.
Wendy's never frozen, always fresh. Yeah.
Lemmy from Motorhead. Lemmy Kilmister.
Motorhead, right?
Yeah.
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 Also, shout out to Me Mikkel. Hi, how are you?
Me Mikkel and Iron Jawed. What's going on? Iron Jawed said she has never seen another person spelled the same way as her, at least.
When your name is live studio attendee, it's going to be really hard to find someone else named that.
It's actually on her birth certificate. I've seen it before.
It's going to really suck when you guys get married and you have to change the last name. My name is Live Studio
Do you,
Kelly.
Brian, take this woman to be your lovely wedded husband? Yeah. Do you, Live Studio attendee, take this man?
How much money do we have to pay your priest in order for him to actually say that?
Live studio attendee would castrate you and then shove them down your throat.
She'd kill you.
So you know.
I'd be totally for it. Because that'd be hilarious.
How funny would that be?
I personally find it hilarious.
Also, are we doing a wedding podcast? That's the real question.
We're definitely doing a wedding podcast. Well, we wanted to get Alexa on and Boomer and talk about. I want to do a Bob podcast. I want to learn more about you.
The Bobcast.
That's the Bob.
Live at Brian's wedding. We're learning all about Bob.
Okay,
guys.
If it wasn't insinuated, I meant 2 separate occasions. But
no, but it was just, we're going to do the wedding podcast. Bob, we're going to learn all about you.
All right, fair enough. The juxtaposition was there. But either way, Live studio attendant says, I hate you. And right back at you, friend, whichever camera it is. Right back at you.
Little tiny one.
No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm looking forward to being the best man in bloody gushy parts. Anyway.
She said you guys suck.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I get that a lot.
Mediocre.
At least the decent guy.
We don't suck. I'm going to roll for how good I am. Cracks out
please
D&D
be
die.
a 1.
Oh, I rolled a 1!
And we suck.
I just dropped it. I sucked so hard. How do I roleplay this one?
So, for anyone out there who doesn't understand how D&D works, there's, to roll for anything, you have to roll a D20. It's a 20-sided die. 20 is the best you can do. 1 is an automatic failure. So Spencer rolled to see if we sucked or not and rolled a 1.
I pretty much rolled so hard, and I sucked so hard that I contemplated my own existence as I stand on the bridge. That's like how bad rolling a 1 is. Did that go too dark?
cease to exist. Just like my first character.
I suck-
He ceased to exist. Only Spencer and I get that. My character's name was Ceased.
That's the whole joke.
He got murdered.
I suck so hard that I actually just physically imploded into nothing. Oh, done. Gone. But either way, one of my favorite moments...
Welcome to the Bob and Brian podcast.
All we need is get you to disappear for the true Bobcast.
Hey, it's Bob.
All right.
I want it's like a really
welcome
strong...
to Shootin the Shibby.
What if we did
Hi.
what's the name of that show? Mystery Science Theater? Like what if we set everything up so Bob is the only person on the show and it's just Brian and I like in the background. All you see is the silhouette of our shadows and we're just watching Bob do Bob things and heckling them the whole time. We just did a Bob Mystery
So you and I are the
Theater.
Muppet guys, like up in the
Waldorf and Astoria, just making fun of me the entire time.
0 out of 5
The roast
podcast.
of Bob.
The roast of Bob.
I'll take it though.
We should do a podcast where we just roast someone.
We are apparently a 0 out of 5 podcast. I'll take it. At least we're a
That's fine.
number. Ha.
Hey,
Look at that.
it's still a podcast.
Crappy
And
pod.
that's all that matters.
A crappy podcast is still a podcast.
You guys could be earning $0 per month with your podcast.
Oh my god.
But you've heard of us. You must be the worst pirate I've never heard of in my life. Ah, so you've heard of me.
But you commented on the thread. But
Count it.
speaking of stupid moments that probably don't matter, we went out to karaoke after, which was, fun fact, the same karaoke I went to at a bachelor party. But either way, after...
I lost my voice so hard.
Dude, you went all out.
I did.
If
I
I
did.
can get Brian to crack out those moves for this podcast, if I can create the
Never
comfort
happened.
bubble that was, well, maybe I'll just slip a camera in there without your consent. Woo! No.
All you have to do is play Hey Ya.
Yeah, pretty much. But either way, afterwards, so I cosplayed. I'm gonna put my mic down for a second. Pretty much, I walked around in my twirly hat. I have very 90s looking shades that look like they came out of a Capri Sun commercial, and I have a flamingo shirt with on the back. I put "Ask Me About My Podcast" as well as like my Twitch handle and Instagram handle, amateur everything. As I turn around, and unfortunately, I'm not wearing them today. But I had booty shorts that pretty much went.
His boxers were longer, like they were peeking out.
My
Most
boxers
of the
were
time.
peeking out. Yeah, you saw plaid, and I was walking around like that. But either way, I'm too cheap to like Uber back to the hotel or to change. So I just went out to karaoke like that, and I'm walking around, and it's cold outside and whatever. But you know what? It was cool.
Lots of shrinkage.
Breaking comfort zones. There was nothing. There was nothing left. It was.
That would imply there was something to begin with. Continue.
No, you.
Spencer turned into a Ken doll. Talking about shrinking to where it doesn't exist anymore, that's what happened to your genitals out there. Oh, the best part was we were leaving karaoke.
Are you taking my
And
story?
Spencer runs into somebody else with a twirly
You
hat.
just took my story. This was. Why do you think I was bringing all this up? But yes, so we were leaving
He just wanted
karaoke.
to talk about his shrinking balls in the cold. Like,
That was really the point of the story. That's all I wanted to talk about was my non-existent
look at
testicles.
my testicles.
Yes,
Cool.
look at them in my short shorts.
Spencer met somebody
Anywho.
else with a twirly hat.
Remember that 0 out of 5 podcast? No, but I mean, fuck you. You ruined the moment. You pretty much just told the story. Yeah, I saw someone else wearing a twirly hat out at the bar, and we both went over and we twirled our hats to each other, and we just had a very lovely moment. And
There's actually a secret cult of everyone who wears twirly hats, where they know
Exactly.
that if they see someone else wearing it, they have to get their hats to twirl with each other, and that's how they confirm the bond between one another.
we do. We flip.
You ever see a Family Guy bit where it's like when bald guys meet each other in an elevator? They both look each other's heads and like, yes, I always love when we get to do that.
I just want to put it out there that me, Mikkel, said, how do you pronounce her? Iron Jwed? Oh, Iron Jaw. All right, I don't think it was that funny. You're peeking your mic.
Oh, that was amazing.
Iron Jaw.
My mom just called my fiance a tool.
Stop taking the stories as I'm saying them.
You can look and see it's right there.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry for all the people that might, listen to the
great
download
tomorrow morning podcast
Yeah, that
material.
listen to the download tomorrow that might not have the chat available. Do you want to just finish? Yes.
So my fiance's been
Oh,
the one
no,
commenting this
Mima,
entire
Kel,
time.
Don't
Like
apologize.
just like saying stuff and roasting us and whatever. And my mom just says, "Who's this person commenting?" Because she doesn't know my fiance's tag on Twitch. Just goes, "Who's this person commenting? They sound like a tool." And she just goes, "Ouch,
And
Mom."
I know, because the name is Iron Jawed with a number, and I know that she meant a tool, as in like an iron jaw sounds like some sort of tool, like the jaws of life.
It.
But the way it's read, oh, that's fantastic. Damn,
Oh my God.
that's the best moment we're gonna have this entire podcast.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
Oh, so that wedding.
oh yeah, oh, it's gonna be a good. No bad vibes at that wedding.
It's just gonna be me looking at my fiance, and my fiance's looking at my mom. Yep. I'll take him.
I guess you're marrying a tool. But so PAX. I wanted to put out. I came across what's cool about PAX, besides it being a video game convention, is there is a lot of tabletop games, and so I was walking by and I picked up a game called Les Neckbeard. And so the way it works is everyone plays as a neckbeard, which, if you don't know internet terms, is pretty much just like a person with facial hair that they don't
A
trim,
nice guy.
wearing a fedora that's always nice to all women.
Females never do anything.
Women
Females
are
are the
queens.
princess.
And so you play as a
All
neckbeard.
women are queens.
You play as a neckbeard,
Actually.
and you're trying to swoon waifus. And waifus, you have anything from a nurse holding Mountain Dew to a goth girl to Granny, because Granny's looking hot, to tentacles.
Because of course.
And you have different specialty cards like memes and cosplay, which is just Batman saying, "I am the knight, the white knight." And it's just, I just can't wait. I want to do a stream of us.
For
playing
anyone who doesn't understand what a white knight is, a white knight is when somebody says something. So say Spencer here was a hot, sexy young lady, and he posted a picture of himself, and Bob over here goes, "Damn, I like to tap that." I would come in as the white knight and say, "How dare you speak to a woman like that? You should treat her with the utmost respect that she deserves."
See, I think all
Then
these
you would also be the
examples.
same person who complained that, like,
Yeah, and then
I held the door for you. I deserve something else.
And then since I defended Milady, she deserves to.
Holds the door. Better touch my pee-pee.
If I don't get
pretty
sex
much
out of
white
that,
knight.
Yes.
saving her on that interaction on Facebook.
See, that particular
Then she's-
circumstance, I
then she's a
actually
thought.
that particular circumstance, I think I would agree with the white knight. But just imagine just a guy, even like without even just, "Hey girl, you're looking real pretty," and then the white knight's, "Excuse me, you should call her madam." And
My lady.
utmost, yeah, it's just.
You should wash up the ground she walks on.
Indeed. And of course, the old meme is, "All women are queens."
If she breathes, she's a thought.
That's a white knight after they get rejected. You got to play the whole joke out.
For anyone who doesn't know, a thought means that hoe over there.
I didn't realize how derogatory of a word that is. Like
Thought?
that. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
no, it's terrible.
That's up there with like slut and whore.
Yep.
I thought it was just like a stupid, casual, funny internet term.
No,
but
it
then,
means
like,
that hoe
whoa.
over there.
Yeah, I know, but like I didn't think people took it seriously as like whore and thought. Or I just said it in
I
the
mean-
same sentence, whore and slut. But
Who knew the word thought was like the word thought?
just like Spencer marrying Spencer.
Shocker there.
I mean, never mind. I'm not going to touch that one.
Oh. Well,
Ooh.
Nobody
Producer
wants to
Matt
touch
said, "I don't think anyone wants to touch that one."
Nobody wants to touch that hoe over
Epic
there.
burn. You did point at me too, just in case there was any sort of question on which person he was talking about. So what else did you do at PAX? I pretty
played-
much roamed around a lot. I
Dude,
just walked.
I played so many indie games. Like, I think I played every indie game they had at PAX.
You've become the true indie guy.
I actually was in the top 3 of the fastest people to finish this racetrack for this game, and I should be getting a medal.
See, the way you explained that was so ambiguous that I just kind of imagined a bunch of 5-year-olds trying to finish a maze, and you're just like, yeah!
No.
You, Timmy, I got this!
So it was a game like Wave Race 60. It was a game like Wave Race 64.
Get some! Throws your, like, Crayola marker in his face.
Kid.
Timmy gotta learn today.
No, so it was a game like Wave Race 64, which I was know it's like a jet ski game. We have to go left around the yellow buoys.
Buoy. Go
Buoy.
around the yellow buoys. That's a little racist,
Buoy.
Brian. Jeez. Go around the yellow buoys.
Right around the red ones. And there was this one map that he was having everyone go on the same racer. And I was originally the fastest for a while, but then I went back and I saw 2 people did faster than me. But I was number 3 out of the entire
challenge
thing.
them.
I did.
Push
I
his
went
glasses
back.
up.
But the guy was actually impressed by me because I managed to find a bug 3 times in a row. I hit the same glitch on this ramp 3 times in a row during one of my tries, and the guy was just like, may have you come as like a game tester. He's like, you keep hitting the same bug every time. And it's just, I don't know why they even designed it like this. It was like 2 houses and then a ramp. And for the shortcut, you had to go up the ramp. But every time I hit this one part of the ramp, it would send my thing sideways and I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. And I kept hitting it every time. And this guy was actually impressed by my ability to suck.
I was about to say, maybe after the second time you try a different route.
Well, going around takes too much time. You got to hit that. You got to hit the shortcut.
And you did, and you hit it every time, and the same thing happens. So what was it, Schrodinger, his dogs or whatever, where that's
Scrotum's cat, yes.
Scrotum's
cat. You got
Scrotum's cat.
Cat scrotums.
That's how you'd be the one dog that just keeps getting zapped or whatever. Like, why is this working?
We're talking about cats?
And Brian would be the dog in this one. Duh. Come on, Brian. You follow Spencer's logic here.
Somebody's sitting there, it's like, what's with this cat? And they're like, I don't know, man, but this dog over here is going crazy. How did a dog get involved? You're thinking of Pavlov.
Yeah, Pavlov's dog.
Pavlov.
Was it Pavlov's bell or whatever?
I was a psych major for 2 semesters.
That he would ring the bell whenever it was time to eat.
Yeah,
Yes.
so the dog
Was it
would start
Pavlov's law?
salivating. Pavlov, I don't know if it was his law, but like it was his experiment.
Yeah.
But he'd ring the bell, and the dog would start salivating anytime he'd hear a bell. So it's just like a Pavlovian response.
Spencer's killing cats. He's like, why doesn't my dog know it's time to eat? Shit. This isn't working. Pavlov, you lying bitch. It's like, I don't think you're doing Pavlov's. Oh, no. Am I doing Scrotum's cat again? Shit, I always get those 2 mixed
Better
up.
put my balls in a box now. Like,
All I know is that at the end of PAX, I remember when I first got to PAX.
Wait, this is Scrotum's cat? Spencer looks down. Oh.
Shall we move on?
it's my dick in a box.
It's my scrotum in a box.
Anywho,
Continue.
I'm just saying. All I know is when we first got to PAX, I was excited the whole time, but I was so energetic, and I was talking to everybody. I was handing out business cards left and right, and this and that, and whatever. And by the 4th day, I have these booty shorts in my hand in the morning. I'm like, I don't want to put them on. I just want to put on sweatpants. And we got to PAX, and the first thing I did was I just went to the bathroom. And I looked in the mirror as I'm washing my hands, and like I shaved the first day, and I didn't shave the rest, so I'm just growing in a 5 o'clock shadow. I have sunken eyes. Like I looked like the episode of Futurama when Slurms McKenzie is just, I've been partying for 15 years. I think it's time for a break.
You came and you just looked at me. It's just like, you look like Slurms McKenzie.
I would totally cosplay as Slurms McKenzie, just putting it out there.
Party
Whoa!
on, Slurms McKenzie. Party on, contest winner. That was when he partied to crash the cave to kill the queen.
Yep. Kill the queen by partying. That'd be how I do.
Killer queen.
Shot by a laser beam. Dynamite like a laser beam.
We have Silver BBBBB says, sup, thanks for answering my text, dingus.
Oh,
Which
hi,
that's
Eric.
That's a shot at...
Is it okay if I come in while you are filming? Yeah, that's fine. You can come over whenever.
Great.
There you go. And I officially answered your text.
Good job.
Great.
Also,
Good
in
content.
my defense, so I helped out my little brother or I attempted to help him with his car, and I used my phone as a flashlight. And so I went to go get my phone to just do like some pre-podcast promotion stuff and whatever. I'm like, where's my phone? And so I keep calling it, and I go around, I'm like, everyone shut up, it's on vibrate. And I call it, and like nothing. And so I go on my computer to like find my iPhone, and I'm looking on the map. It's like, yeah, it's right there in the house. Nope, that says ShopRite. And I ended up leaving my phone in Shane's car, which went to ShopRite. So, oopsie poopsie, my B.
Great.
Indeed. My phone went on an adventure and somehow came up looking super bang. The case is like missing chunks of it now. I don't know what the hell he did in his car, but he did a doozy of whatever it was.
So to finish up our adventures at PAX, I want to give a big shout out to one of the games I played there. It was easily the best game I played there.
Oh, yes.
The game is called Panzer Paladin. My God.
Is that a Panzer tank?
Like, the game was, it's not like visually great. It's not like the gameplay isn't astounding. It was just fun.
It's a vintage-looking 2D side-scroller.
Fun. Like, do you think you and I just found it at random? We were just like, oh, no one's playing it. Let's try it out.
Pretty much.
And we just sat down, and I just started playing, and immediately as I was playing, I just had the biggest smile on my face.
It's a 2D side-scroller, and you play as a mecha, and you can pick up different weapons, so there's a lot of variety. But you can also hop out of the mecha, or the mecha can blow up. And you, even though that you're just holding a controller, you can really feel the physics of, like, the mecha jumping. Like, you can feel the weight and how heavy it is, and then how nimble the little character is outside of the mecha. It was just really cool.
It was a lot of fun. You could do like there was a lot of different moves you could do, especially when in the mech. You can stab up to get like an extra jump up. You can also stab down to do pogos on top of enemies.
Do a barrel roll?
You can't do a barrel roll.
I'm sure you can do,
unfortunately.
but
It's
we
not Star
didn't.
Fox.
Well, we didn't unlock it. Maybe
We
you
might
could
not have unlocked it. Who
might not
knows?
have unlocked it.
But yeah, you can get like a bunch of different weapons. You could sacrifice your weapon to cast a spell to like clear the screen. It was just pure fun. It was just pure fun as a game, which just I haven't really experienced games like that. I have not played enough games as often where it's just pure fun. The last game, besides Mario Odyssey this year, I can't remember the last game I played that was just fun.
See, it's funny. Shane bought Mario Odyssey, and his impression was pretty much like, "That's it."
Really, you're not about Mario Odyssey?
I know you're cooking your dinner and all, but do you want to come on and give your hot take?
I love, dude. The moment I was able just to run around as Mario was a good time.
Come on over.
Throwing Cappy is
Ladies
such,
and gentlemen, my little brother Shane.
Throwing
hopping on
Cappy
his
is just
debut
such,
of the
like-
podcast.
It felt like second nature to me. It didn't feel like a gimmick I had to get used to. It didn't feel like a gimmick that, for the sake of being a gimmick, like, oh, I have to do this. It just felt natural to throw Cappy, become enemies, know exactly what you got to do, because a lot of these are enemies you've seen millions
You become
of times
enemies
over
with
the
your
years.
hat.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, you take over it's the whole game.
He clearly has never played it.
I've
Throwing
never played
Cappy. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, you're allowed to curse.
Can't
Throwing
fucking
Cappy
curse.
fucking suck.
How?
The aim assist on it is garbage. So if you're slightly off, it's like, nah, you missed and then you died. Or you missed the star and then you have to do the time trial over again. I hate throwing
How?
Cappy.
I have not had one issue with throwing
I'm
Cappy.
always like 10 degrees off. Like,
All
I'm
right.
always acutely off.
When this podcast is over, I want to see how
should be more
I want to
obtuse.
see how you play it.
That being said, like, I still give the game like a 7 out of 10. It's just like, I expected better, if that makes sense. And then also the fact that it was just like, hey, you could beat the game in 10 hours. And then it's like, but wait, there's a whole bunch of random stars we just placed around the map because you finished it too quickly. Like, I wish there was more like levels in the game instead of them just adding a whole bunch of BS stars after you beat Bowser.
That is, yes, one thing was that a lot of the stars they add in, some of them are just like, hey, it's now sitting on this rock. Like, those kind of stink. So they added in some really good stars
No, they
that
did.
were
They
in the
did.
post thing.
But like,
yeah,
for
they,
every one star they added that was good, it was like 10 that were just like, you just, sneeze and there's a star. Like, finding Toad was just
yes
like,
and no.
oh!
Toad was fun. I didn't know he turned into Beetle.
I'm about to say, speaking of that noise, we saw the best Beetle cosplay.
All right, I gotta
Beetle's
go
a
flip my
shopkeeper
fried
from
chicken
Zelda.
before they burn.
That's cool.
You know, he
That's
likes
fair.
his chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night.
Fuck my cousin because
Okay.
it felt right.
and the radio won't.
Good old cousin love music.
I like that song. It's the one country song I'm into.
I do too, and I also don't hate country.
Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band.
I think
Mario Odyssey it's super fun. I never got I think each level you need to get like 10 before you can move on. I always got as much as I could before I could move on. I did that. Because I don't know, the levels were fun. I think there was one level that sucked. I didn't like who was it? I wasn't too thrilled with the winter level.
Did it suck or did you suck at it?
No, it just wasn't fun. I was good at it. It's the one with the big bear people that are like super round. They look exactly like a ball, and you do the one part where you race, where you bounces them to do like a race or whatever. The race was fun, but the rest of the level was kind of just It wasn't really that fun.
Speaking of awkwardly shaped characters, the behemoth. I won Joy-Cons.
How is that an oddly shaped character?
Because they have oddly shaped characters. I don't know. They're cartoony.
Any cartoony characters oddly shaped?
It was a cheeky little segue, but thanks for just turning it to something else.
Speaking of video games, you won Joy-Cons.
Wow, just saying, speaking of video games and a podcast that we're doing about video games. That's a good one. Anywho, yeah, I won Joy-Cons from them in a raffle that I wasn't even going to enter.
You could see that on our Instagram.
Can you? I'll make sure you can tonight. How about that?
At Shibby Shack Official on Instagram.
I posted it.
Oh, did you?
I sure did.
Well, good on you, champ. I posted it on mine at Amateur Everything with a 3.
I knew you wouldn't post it on the Shibby Shack one, so I put it right on there.
I posted on the Shibby Shack Instagram over the weekend.
Yeah, but you didn't post the one about you winning.
I did not post the one about me winning. No.
That's why I did.
Well, thank you. You could have posted the one about you winning. Oh, you didn't win anything.
I won.
Let me get F's in the chat.
I won a gamepad. For not winning N64. I did it in a raffle for an N64, and only I think 3 people really showed up to the raffle afterwards because they said once someone says you don't have to be present to win, no one shows up. It was at 2:30 on the last day, so nobody really showed up for it. And the guy was like, "Well, since you showed up here," he gave me a gamepad, and it's basically like a giant mouse pad.
I also got you a gamepad.
You did. You smooth talked me into getting a mouse pad from the people I bought the mouse from originally, and then I went back and bought a headset.
And fun fact, the mouse pad doesn't work with the iMac app mouse. So just one more reason why having an Apple's dumb.
So, I know, Bob, our weekends were pretty hard to top, but I'm sure you did something pretty cool.
Bob, take it away. What'd you do over the weekend?
I worked.
Right on! Jesus Christ. You just peeked the mic so hard that my ears are bleeding.
They're not bleeding. You're fine.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's blood. Yeah, it smells like blood. Tastes like... No.
That's weird.
Gross.
You are gross. No, nothing cool, nothing special.
Nothing really. No, it was just kind of a relaxed weekend. I will say though, as part of my job, I have to go to job fairs and that kind of stuff to try to recruit people.
As part of my job, I have to job.
Pretty much. I have to say, going to job fairs as someone who's trying to pull in prospective employees and all that kind of stuff is some of the best people watching you will ever have in your life.
I used to do job fairs for the station we both used to work at.
Yep.
Oh, those are the best.
I went to the Philly, the New York Auto Show. I don't know if they still do it, but they had what they called a job fair. And at the time, I was just desperately looking for a job because, college student, this economy, blah, 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 blah. Anywho, I dressed up all nice. I went to the New York Auto Show in slacks, a button down, a tie, and I got an envelope full of my resumes, ready to go out and meet new people. And my one friend's like, "Dude, this is just gonna be for tech schools, right?" And I'm like, "No, you don't know that." So we went there, and it was nothing but tech schools. And pretty much
UTI.
not even... Oh, absolutely. And even the people that were interested in these tech schools were, T-shirt, jeans, maybe
they
didn't have holes.
A question for you: is there an auto school called UTI?
Yeah, University Technical Institute.
Cool. They're also urinary tract infection.
There you go. Just like Subaru's STI is a sexually transmitted infection.
After I said
Boopy-doopy-doo.
UTI, I'm like, that's also people can get a UTI.
Well, so
Gross.
I'm at I was actually at a job fair earlier today, and oh my god, the amount of people who don't know how to shake hands, and B, don't have any sort of person-to-person communication.
Did they give you the?
It was.
Oh, is it the?
It was this.
Is it the limp dick handshake?
Are you gonna give me? Are you gonna give me the limp dick, or am I giving you?
No,
it?
you give me the limp dick.
Cool, gotcha.
Limp dick me, Brian.
Hi, Mom.
It was.
Oh God!
It feels weird just to give you it.
The arm, like I feel like I dislocated one
Your
kid's
arm
shoulder.
looked like Jello. I just want to say, as being the person sitting there watching all this limp dick right in front of him, your arm just looked like Jello.
Dude, dude, my arm hurt.
Oh yeah, and it was
Did
just
you
like.
did you feel a crack? I cracked.
Oh yeah,
the arm a little
I feel like
bit
I
there.
cracked too, but this.
Can I give you a real handshake now? I feel
Yeah.
so gross.
I want to be part of this.
no,
No, let me in there. Come on. Yeah, three-way. This is a three-way handshake.
Hi, Mom.
I've had the opposite, though. I had someone give me a handshake to the point that, like, I think he might have dislocated my fingers.
Yo, you want to talk about firm handshakes? Your new person. He's got a nice one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. See,
Shout
that's
out
the
to
thing.
Mr.
I
Smith.
appreciate someone who has a very strong handshake.
For sure.
Especially after like doing all like these job fairs. I had one kid who looked like he literally climbed out of a pool before coming into the interview because he's
He was soaking wet.
soaking wet in sweat.
Moist.
And like it was one of those things where like I didn't want to shake his hand, but he's like I'm like,
Me too.
Bob, here's the number one question.
and of
for you,
course,
though.
as an idiot, I completely forgot hand sanitizer.
I was about to ask if you had hand sanitizer.
I am so mad at myself.
Rookie
I left
mistake.
it in my car.
Rookie mistake.
See, but I think the fun fact is, like, someone could have gone just whacked off in the bathroom and gave you a firm handshake, and you would have thought nothing of it. But it's the limp dick handshake that you're like, I need hand sanitizer.
Okay, here's the real question for you. How many people do you know, or do you do this personally, that you're at a job fair and you're like, all right, if I got to go out here, I got to impress these people.
Let me go rub one out real quick just to boost my confidence.
What's up? I'm Spencer. I just jerked off in the bathroom. Give me a job.
I have really tiny hands, so it
Please,
makes
and I'm dressed like this with the shades and the twirly hat. What's up? I'm Spencer.
I just jerked off in the bathroom. Ping.
one hand on yourself, the other hand twirling your propeller.
I roll for confidence, and I roll a 16. I am pretty goddamn confident. Who
But
wants
you're
to
not
see my
legal.
dick? Oh. But I'm not legal. I didn't roll for age.
You gotta play that +4 card.
So if I were to roll like a 2, it would just be like, why is this baby at a job fair? Gotta get him working young. Fuck child labor laws.
Child labor laws is what's ruining this country.
Libertarian society, we don't need child labor laws. And Trump's America, everything works.
I'm not gonna
God.
do it. Not gonna do it.
I already
Not gonna
did.
do it. Move on.
I already did.
Move on. Not gonna do
Bob,
it.
how was your weekend?
But
No,
anyway,
we did that already.
Anyway, job fairs.
Job
but like,
fairs.
it's one of those things where people need to be able to, handle a job fair or just interact like a normal human being. I had
it's
one
too
guy,
much.
I had one kid, and of course, it's the first kid that comes up to me today. He comes up and he's like, "So, what are you?"
What are you? I'm
like-
a person. He looks
I'm-
What are you? Damn, that's a deep question.
I'm actually a man beast. Don't tell anyone. You're the first one to know. You're the only person to ask me.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've had people. So, you're a radio station.
No, I'm a TV station.
Do you have any experience in?
Wow, you guessed it. We're a radio station. You could take my job.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified like you are.
The best is I told someone like, oh, we're a radio station, blah 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 blah. They go,
Oh, you're a radio station.
I'm like, oh, do you have any experience with a college radio station? He goes, no, but I've dabbled in radio before.
As in,
But I've dabbled in my college radio station before.
he's physically hit the tuner and went left or right with it, and that's him dabbling in radio.
And I'm like, oh, really?
I work
What?
my car radio.
The best part is, I'm like, oh, really? Are you a senior? Like, what do you do with the radio station? He goes, no, I'm a freshman.
I looked at the door.
You dabble in radio, so you've done this on and off for the last like 20 years, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
no, and he's like, no,
Yo.
I did like 2 events for the radio station when I was in
See,
college.
but just remember, do you remember, like, I mean, I'm not justifying that kid, but do you remember just being at the job fair and trying to be like, okay, I have the same credentials as everyone else. How do I make myself look better?
No, because my school doesn't give 2 fucks about radio.
Ah.
We
We went to a school.
Yeah, what a nerd. You went to school.
We live in a society.
We all went to the same school. At least I don't shade farts. At least
What a grand sum of our school.
fart.
Accurate.
Here
This
at
says
school,
a lot about our
And the
society.
podcast, too.
And yet we live in one.
here at school,
That's what they did with our money.
It's the equivalent of John
Right?
Belushi wearing the college shirt from Animal House.
at least they didn't close an entire campus after we left because they were making so much money, right? That didn't happen, right, guys? The campus that was actually known for being one of the best art schools in the country, right, guys?
Remember when there was a lot to do?
Have I given
on
you
the
guys
weekends?
enough information to look up what school this is yet, right, guys?
We've all
Or
said-
just look back in in the last 52 episodes.
We went to Rider University in Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
Oh, you beep. Yep.
Remember when there was stuff to do on the weekends, but then they took it away and said that we didn't have the money to do it? But they
I don't.
But they built that stupid kiosk outside of the BLC.
That's what the students asked for.
What about the giant hill on campus that says Ryder in bushes?
Just in case you didn't know. I thought that was a hill.
What
Why
about
would they
that-
mark
what
the
about
hill as
that-
Ryder?
What about that one time I was at the president's meeting and they were asking why doesn't anybody live in Olson, and I told them because 2/3 of it is called the wellness part, where you can be thrown off campus for having any sort of alcohol paraphernalia on it. And they were trying to get people to live in Olson. I told them, why not move it to the freshman dorm? Because there's literally no chance of anyone over the age of 21 living in the freshman dorm. And the guy told me, well, no, we shouldn't do that to freshmen because I feel like that's too much pressure on them. And I looked him dead in the eye and said, isn't it illegal anyway for somebody under the age of 21 to drink? And he looked at me and he said, well, I think it's just too much.
I also
But
like
the
we
dorm where people over the age can live there. And I was the crazy one.
The good old RU screw.
I lived in that dorm too, and just because I got a shitty lottery
I lived
number.
in that dorm too.
A
And
buddy of
also,
mine
I was
did
like
as
the
well.
one we have a comment saying I always like seeing a rider sticker on a car in front of me, laughing how they got the same shit as me.
Having a register. I'm not getting into it.
Well, I feel like I've told this story on the podcast before.
Oh, now
where
we're not getting into
a
it.
buddy of mine was a NASCAR fan. He was a fan of Dale Earnhardt Jr., and at the time he was driving the Budweiser car. He
Right.
couldn't wear anything that had Dale Earnhardt Jr. on him because he lived in that dorm.
But that doesn't even say Budweiser.
It
says
does.
Dale. Oh, okay, so
Like
he
if
could wear,
he had like a picture of his shirt, of like the car on his shirt, he couldn't wear that shirt because it just said Bud on the hood.
What if he's buds with Dale?
What about that part of Rider where they don't care about you until you become
Every
successful?
school or every part.
Poita? Oh.
No, I'm saying that
Oh,
part.
I know exactly what you're talking
that
about.
part of Rider where they don't
And-
give two
and-
shits
and-
about you until you become actually worth something.
And
then
this
they're like,
one person's face is all over the school.
Yep.
Oh, hey, look at I
don't
work in
give
New
two
York.
shits about you until you actually become something,
Fucking
and then they're
smug
just like,
face.
well, no, the person they put the face on is a nice person. I like. I know you don't like him. I like him, but Ryder didn't give two
No, look
shits
at me,
about
I'm a
that
smug
person
douchebag.
until that person
Dur.
became actually worth something, and now they're just like, oh, look, we'll promote this program we don't give a crap about, but we'll say we sent someone there.
Yeah.
I don't.
Let's promote the TV station.
I had fun.
So how was PAX?
PAX was.
Oh, yeah, and Spencer's above the women's bathroom.
Yes, my face. I got given the best rider award of all time. Me playing my trumpet is above the women's bathroom, the most prestigious award
In our gym.
You can in the basketball gym. You can keep your scholarships and you can keep your valedict whatevers. I
You're
don't.
valid dick.
I was
unlike
valid-
those
your
unvalid
valid
dicks.
dick whatevers.
No, those valid dicks. Those unvalid dicks need to
Valedictorians.
get out.
Angie, Bob, I feel like you are projecting. No.
No,
They know me so well.
no, because there's been plenty of times where it wasn't until somebody did something important or noteworthy, and then Ryder's like, "Hey, can we like throw your face everywhere and say that you totally went here?" It's like, "Hey, look at this person. They went to Ryder. They went to Ryder. Look at this person. They went to Ryder. Come to us. Give us all your money." It's like, why not actually give a shit about your students while they're there?
I mean, we all saw that and just went K, and we gave them our money. So we're no better. So yeah, PAX was great.
So what did we learn?
Is it that time already?
No, we got a little more time.
I mean, do we have anything else to talk about?
Let's give them something to talk about. What about love?
Chick-fil-A was removed from Ryder.
So what did we learn today?
Not kidding. I wish that Dean, who resigned from Ryder because they got rid of Chick-fil-A, she was like, they're going against the wrath of Jesus Christ by not letting chicken on campus. I want to be like, what part of the Bible did Jesus come down and say, "Let there be Chick-fil-A's at every college campus"? Don't get me wrong, they should have allowed Chick-fil-A because chicken's fucking delicious. And
It's good for you.
didn't or was that
I could have sworn.
was it Wawa where the guy who
What?
created it went to Ryder?
He did go to Ryder.
The CEO of Wawa went to Ryder.
Okay, yeah,
I
the
shook
CEO.
hands with him.
That's
He
why
also went to my high school, fun fact.
I shook hands with him.
Spencer and him are best friends.
I shook hands with
They
him.
shook hands, so essentially they're
I
lovers.
did it.
I
Yeah.
haven't washed it since.
That's what that smell is.
Oh yeah.
So Shane
Matt,
wasn't
can you hand me
cooking
the Febreze?
Chick-fil-A used to be a sponsor at Ryder. Fun fact.
Yeah, when they're in the mall, but they're not anymore.
I just remember.
No, it wasn't the mall one. It was the one over in
well, it was the mall first, but
Hamilton.
then
Past
it's the other
CEO.
one.
It
Yeah.
was
was the-
Hamilton.
We have a fact checker. It was the past CEO of Wawa that I shook
Oh.
hands with. We're not best friends anymore.
You're not the CEO. What are you, Ryder? They're
Friendship
not
ended
important
with
anymore.
Wawa.
We're not. So you cut off ties.
Can I make a meme like the best, like the two Indian guys were like ending best friendship with other guy? I'm ending best friendship with
Friendship
Wawa.
is over with this person. Now other person is my best friend.
I'm ending friendship with Wawa, and this is like my arm around the Quick Check logo, like new best friend.
Did you see the picture they made where the guy who he ended his friendship with, they got back together?
Yes, yes, I did. It
Oh,
was
the best.
It was a solid.
It was the only thing I
wholesome
needed
ending.
in this life to make me set.
Here's the real question, though: Wawa or Quick Check?
Quick Check.
Wawa.
Quick Check.
We have
Quick Check.
Wawa.
Yeah, I'm
coming
going
from the
Wawa
road
as
there.
well.
Oh no! I see.
Wawa.
Okay, see. I get. Well,
You're the only quick check, so you should better quick check
All right.
yourself out of here.
Tell me why Quick Check is better.
honestly, the
Wow,
food.
that's so wrong. Go on.
Brian talking over people on the podcast. No,
That's what talking about himself. No.
I was asked a question.
I'm here.
If anything that sums up the podcast, it was the last 10 seconds. But go on.
No, honestly. So I used to be a very big pro Wawa guy, and I definitely just a lot of Wawa. Let's just face it, it's all gas station food. A lot of Wawa is just a sensationalism of when you were in high school and you were like, "Yeah, I'm at Wawa," and my friends, we all go to Wawa and we hang out at Wawa, and also the name is Wawa. Like that's just a fun name.
Bob, do you remember every time you went to Wawa, but before you went in, you had to pose with your friends? Like
I
that's
do.
actually you can't get into Wawa until you show them photographic proof if you pose.
I actually have
come
an
on.
entire MySpace photo album dedicated to me posing.
You
with
know
my friends
that
in front of Wawa.
I have pictures of me entering, ordering, and leaving Wawa. All like I have a photo album and a slideshow linked up to "Good Riddance" by Green Day.
You know that if like there's a lot of wires. That one knee hand clasp like pose that people do, like you know that people would do that all over Wawa back in high school
No.
if we did that. Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
Absolutely.
I wasn't here in high
There
school.
were
I didn't have
such-
Wawas in high school. I lived in New York.
Well, then your opinion doesn't matter anymore. So over in New Jersey, no. But honestly, it was just like Wawa was just like a cult following, and it was
Pennsylvania
fun.
thing, but all right.
But now that I work a job where I'm on the road and gas station food is my main source of nutrition, mention, I just genuinely enjoy the Quick Check food more. I enjoy going to the Wawa local to me just because I became friendlier with one of the guys who is, shout out to Kayvon. He is a cosplayer. He's an awesome dude to talk to. I don't get that experience with Quick Check, but in terms of just like commodities and food and what they have, I think Quick Check is better. I think the food's better.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Yeah. Now, on
Don't
my
you
end,
that.
on my end, I'm saying Wawa is better. Growing up where I lived, I had a Wawa around the corner from me and a Quick Check around the corner from me. Sandwiches from Wawa are by and far so much better than Quick Check. I hate Quick Check's bread. I hate their sandwiches, their meat. Everything is just awful.
I hate their face. I hate their logo. I hate the people who work there. And I thought they loved me.
Who hurt you? But I will say, though, there are other
It's just
stuff.
Bob doing the hand clasp with Wawa. It's just like, fuck, Quick Check.
Friendship ended with Quick Check. Now Wawa's my best friend.
I will say, though, Quick Check does have better other items than Wawa.
Well, Quick Check actually has like a pharmacy.
This is some of them do. Not all
The
of
one
them.
by me does.
I know it does. But apparently, actually, you know what? Scratch that. I will say the mac and cheese at Quick Check is better than Wawa's mac and cheese.
I've never gotten mac and cheese from either.
The
As
Quick
much
Check,
as I love
the Wawa
I
one
ain't
is
getting
good.
mac and cheese from them.
You'd be surprised. The next time you're at Quick Check, get mac and cheese. It's actually really good.
So I'm gonna as much as I'm defending Quick Check's mac and cheese fucking sucked. Maybe it was just the one time I got it, but it wasn't even mac and cheese. It was just macaroni floating in like water that was cheese colored.
It was definitely the one time you got it,
And
because
it
that's
was-
not how it normally is.
It was burnt around the outside of it. Like
Ew.
I don't even know. Yeah.
Oh God.
And like where Wawa mac and cheese, it's thick.
Question
It's
for you guys,
creamy.
because I'm not a coffee person. Because we have someone in the chat saying Wawa breakfast and coffee is better. Who has the better coffee?
Yeah, Wawa.
I'd probably have to go with Wawa on that one.
All right. I don't drink coffee, so.
I will choose Dunkin' over them though.
Well, I mean,
Honestly, I like McDonald's coffee.
Really? I don't think I've ever had
think
McDonald's coffee.
It's great. If we're going to talk about like gas station tier quality, it's great. Actually, I just think Wawa's just good tasting coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
you
Quick
have
Check is bad
offended
coffee.
the live studio attendee.
I mean, is it the first time?
Wawa Mac, you can get delicious bacon on it.
Yes. No, I prefer Wawa mac and cheese over Quick Check. Mostly because Quick Check's mac and cheese was really just macaroni with yellow paste. I don't even know if it was cheese.
You might have gotten it at a different time though, because they do white cheddar now, and it's
Oh.
You can get it now. You can get it
they
now
went to the elite white cheddar, did they?
at a better place and at a better time. And when you wake up, everything's gonna be fine. I guarantee you'll have some mac and cheese.
And it will taste fine.
So you're tired of eating all of that Quick Check mac and cheese.
Don't
Well,
worry. You're gonna have to go poop a lot.
They
It
made
is your
it better.
fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to take you to a very dark place, but I'm not going to.
Well, I mean, a better place, a better time is all about happiness, so we're not going to take that song to a dark place. The joke is, it's about suicide. Loopy doopy doop.
Well, no, it's about telling a girl to not commit suicide.
I mean, obviously the song isn't, hey, go fucking kill yourself.
Speaking of that, you know Adam's song by Blink-182?
yes.
I'm not going to go to a dark place.
Go
So
on.
speaking of Adam's song,
So no, it was there's a statistic I saw that I laughed at that I shouldn't have laughed at, but it's one of those dark humor that's just funny. That they said like apparently one of the number one songs people end up offering themselves to is Adam's song by Blink-182, which is a song about a guy who didn't off himself.
is it really?
Yes. That's why at the end of the song is really more lighthearted, where it says, "Oh, I knew I'd conquer for better days. Tomorrow holds such, or no, and now I've conquered when it came, because tomorrow holds such better days. Days and not days where I now feel alive."
I don't
And
know
I
if I
can't
would have
wait to get
flat out
outside in
laughed
the
at
world.
that, but I can definitely do like one of
But I
those.
was just like,
Huh.
damn.
So I think on that pleasant note, I think I'm ready to end it.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I want to talk about really quickly. I don't know if on a better note.
Wait, oh yeah, when I say end it, I meant end the podcast. No, wait, no. Hold on.
No, I want to talk. All right, one last thing I want to bring up. I want to do on a better note. You'll like this. I realized I was being a Judgy Jason, and I fixed myself. So today,
you removed your genitals.
Yes. Now I'm a Judgy Jenny.
You've decided to never order fast food from Grubhub ever again.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
We're not.
Today, they released the trailer for Joker, the new Joker movie
With Joaquin Phoenix?
Yes. It looks sick. I'll get to that in a second. Our friends Ryan and Glenn saw the trailer. Ryan was not about it. Glenn was. Glenn, I think Ryan said at one point there was some like bullying or whatever in it, and I'm like, originally I was like, oh my god, don't tell me that they're about to make a Joker movie where he's bullied as a kid and that's what makes him go crazy. I went on a rant about how much I hate DC live action, about how they don't know how to do anything correct. Then I actually watched the trailer. I don't know where they got the idea of bullying from. It's not bullying when random people just beat the ever-loving crap out of you. That's just assault. And it's not like he's like a teenager at school who gets like a swirly. No, he was dressing up as a clown to try to make money, and someone called him a freak because he was smiling, and they beat the ever-loving crap out of him. And the trailer actually looked really good. I really like Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. You watch a man slowly like descend into madness, because my whole thing was DC is never there has never been a good live action Joker to me. Period. No. That includes Heath Ledger. I didn't like him.
Really?
I didn't like him. I didn't like The Dark Knight. I don't like that movie. I get what they were trying to do. It's supposed to be its own thing. They're not trying to go near the comics. I get that. But my problem is I'm so used to the Batman the Animated Series. So Mark Hamill as the Joker is brilliant. He's off the walls. There's no like hidden motives to things. He does it just because he loves chaos. He's crazy. He's insane. And he does it to piss off Batman. That's his goal, is to piss off Batman. While Heath Ledger was like, because in Dark Knight, Heath Ledger is just like, I'm just gonna be that creepy guy who just gets a little too much in your he wasn't off the walls. He's very like calm with his like psychoness that gives you an uneasiness.
But I think that's what makes
my favorite part.
That's what makes him crazy.
I agree with you, Eric. Blasphemy.
I don't like that for the Joker, because when I see the Joker, I'm used to like throwing bombs everywhere, little chattering teeth that just explode, guns where he pulls it out and it says bang first, and then an actual like bullet fires. Like that's what I think of Joker, somebody who's bombastic, somebody who's unpredictable. But when you have someone who's like this calm, collected, that's not a Joker. That's just like, I don't know, that's something else. That's not like when you think of a Joker, you think of someone who's like, wacky and crazy and has all these different little gadgets to make you think it's one thing, and laughing gas and all that stuff. And I think he did a great performance as like for a psychopath, but not really as a Joker. That's my issue with it.
See, but I mean, I don't know. I don't mind seeing characters reimagined in different ways, and so I think
take
that's
the show Gotham, for instance. Have either of you?
I haven't watched Gotham.
Words are hard. You haven't seen Gotham?
No.
Gotham is good. Gotham is probably the only DC show that's actually worth watching.
Live action.
Okay. It's a very different take on...
Yeah, I was say, wait.
I was like, hold your fucking horses, because their animated series are fantastic.
Yeah, no.
It's Batman the Animated Series.
I'm about to say, you just add another hour and a half to this podcast. He's about to just go off on a major
Dude, I would tell you right now, you guys want to talk about the best 90s cartoon? Batman the Animated Series. Fight me on it. Batman Beyond. Fight me on it.
I
That's
feel like
2000.
this is going to spiral into another nostalgia bomb, so let's just keep it on.
Yeah, so let's Bob's point, and then we'll end it.
So with Gotham, it's good. It's a retelling of the story. Everyone's kind of more young. Like Bruce Wayne is...
I do know that it's
teenager,
like right after his parents are killed.
Yeah, Selena, who's...
Selena Kyle,
Gomez,
who's...
yeah.
Yes, who's Catwoman. She's also like...
That'd be great.
Like she's also a teenager. Freeze was in it, but Freeze is a female. Ivy's this weird character. Yeah,
like Freeze.
I think so.
Freeze the villain was
Mr. Freeze.
He's saying over there. He's a dude.
He is a dude.
Well, she's a dude. We're all dudes.
We're all dudes. Oh, you beat me
I'm
to it.
thinking of someone. Either way,
I was like, it's actually integral that he's a man because he's. Sorry, no, I'm gonna let Bob do his thing because I can go to a whole thing about how Mr. Freeze is the best villain ever.
I was about to.
But either way, it's just a different retelling, and I really, really do enjoy that show.
That's fair. Because that's more of like the beginnings of everything, of like how they get to where they are.
Yes.
Can I say also, where's Joker with Jack Nicholson? Fight me. Yeah. Having Joker kill Batman's parents was the dumbest thing ever. How dare you take away Joe Chill from us?
Who the hell's Joe Chill? Don't ask questions.
Joe Chill was the one who killed Batman's parents.
Chill with that. Bob, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Brian is awful when it comes to public transportation.
I learned that Bob hates...
That's fair. I do hate public transportation.
I learned that Bob thinks all DC shows suck.
Accurate.
Live action ones.
Nope, he said DC shows.
Let's end this podcast now. I'm going to yell at Bob off
I learned how to have a infinite podcast with Brian.
Just bring up little tiny minutia no one really cares about.
Oh, of course.
And Brian is going to go off on a tangent.
Of course.
Levels shouldn't cap out in Zelda.
We're going to thank you for joining us today for Shootin the Shibby. If you want to see this podcast again, well, you're going to see it with just me because I'm going to strangle the both of them. And that's going to be the end of this. Don't forget to like us here or follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/shibby_shack. You can follow us here on Twitch. And sometimes I'll stream on here. Sometimes Bob will. And
I won't, but I'll do other stuff.
We'll be hosting Spencer on here. He is Amateur Everything. The first E in the Everything is a 3.
I got a shirt.
Whenever he's on, we auto-host him on here, so you can just come right here. And you're...
Fantastic.
Your thing was all on each other, whatever.
Well, it's fine. I was only talking about Amateur Everything. They asked me about my podcast.
Be sure to also follow us on Instagram. We are at Shibby Shack. I think it's just
Shibby Shack Official.
Shibby Shack Official on Instagram.
As well as Facebook.
As well on Facebook. On Twitter, we are the Shibby_Shack. Don't forget to like us on every single podcast platform there is: iTunes, Google, Spotify, Player.fm, Podbean.
You're not a real listener until you Google us on every account, make an account for all of those, and then like us on every single platform.
Yes, like
not
us
a real listener until you do that.
All of those. Also, big shout out to Bethany at Daleks and Dragons. She's the one who made the art for this. She is awesome. Go support her. Also, big shout out to DJ Quads. He does all the music for us. He does our intro and outro. Just in case anyone also is curious, our intro is called Good Old Days by DJ Quads, and our outro is I'd Like To.
I like to also.
If you couldn't tell, where he says, I like to.
Yeah.
That's great. So that's actually our intro and outro, in case anyone was wondering, because we listen to them outside of the podcast of the first 10 seconds we always get, and they're actually really good songs. And he's a really good person, so give a good listen to him. But I think
Kyle at Spicy Jams NJ.
Oh yes, true.
Best damn jam in the Garden State.
Jam in the Garden State.
Damn jam.
Shout out to our friends over at the Full Slice Podcast. I believe they stream live on Facebook now on Mondays.
Correct. Mondays, yes.
Mondays around 6, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
6 or 6:30.
Yeah, 6 just to be sure. They're on also SoundCloud,
Fridays
iTunes,
at 8.
Everything.
Catch them there.
There's nothing on Fridays at 8.
Exactly.
Don't confuse people. Mondays at 6. Check them out there. They're live on Facebook. Like them. Full Slice Podcast. They're great guys. But I think that is the end of the podcast here.
That is.
For one final time, for Bob.
Hi.
Great. For Spencer.
This is what my propeller sounds. Oh, shit. It's stuck in the headphones. No, wait. The moment's gone.
And I'm Brian.
No, that's what
I might want to get the outro music set up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to stall a little bit for time here.
I'm going to thank you even more for joining us.
My phone that I don't care that there's only 10%
Thank you for thanking
left.
us for joining us on this thankful Wednesday. Damn it. It could have been one of the days that started with a T.
Thank you for listening.
We're still thinking. My butt looks big on camera.
You all of the time. I like to